Hello and welcome to NBC Current Affairs this Tuesday. I'm Jerry Tarbeck, glad to have your company. Coming up tonight, hundreds affected from ongoing eviction exercise. Also, lawlessness prompts a forced eviction, and government needs a lasting solution on evictions. First up tonight, in the eyes of the rest of Papua New Guineans, evictions seem like the solution to eradicating crime and violence in the National Capital District. But to the displaced people, it's a lifetime trauma they have to live with. Innocent people who contribute meaningfully to the development of this nation are forced to bear the brunt of the actions of a few individuals. While evictions may serve the interest of the nation's betterment, there are innocent people who are silently caught in the crossfire. Over 4,000 people of 2 miles Rabiagini Settlement have found themselves displaced following a mass eviction 2 weeks ago. Henrietta Yama reports.
My children's dream of a better life through education vanished into the burning flames along with their school uniforms on that fateful morning of January 25th. These were the words of a deeply tormented father, Ambrose Amen, who is the chairman of the recently evicted Rabiagini Settlement.
My first son is schooling at from National High School, Gerou, from Nats. I just withdraw him because all the uniforms, all the materials, all the school something and cook. So me talk with my famous withdraw. Now he's supposed to do grade 12. Me got all girls school, one girls school, Kila secondary. Me talk this time Mr. Process, so I find him tukin na bayo go school. Napa school Tamblo, St. Peter's grade 8.
Amen's family's plight resonates with every family who got evicted that day. School children are forced to stay home after losing all their belongings and family homes. Likewise for public servants and others in the private sector. Evictions directly affect education and the general workforce.
Within the settlement, we have so many public servants in there. Most from all departments. The students from the secondary schools and primary schools, they are not attending the school because all the houses were been down with the uniforms. Few of us are working. The most are marketing people here.
The only church that maintains order in the community also burnt down to ashes.
Like anywhere else, like in any family home or in any community, we have been preaching, teaching, encouraging. But as in the household and us in the community, there were disobedience. And they were whatever, but the church was there.
According to Atu Layam, Rabiagini is home to 5 generations of Goilala inhabitants who were born and bred here. The whole community is not involved in criminal activities, he says. Layam believes the eviction exercise did not follow proper procedures and questioned the government's resettlement plans for them.
I want to ask the Honorable Governor of Rowan City, Honorable Post Pako, do you have any plans? Do you have any plans in your eviction exercise here in Port Moresby City? Do you have any plans for relocation of these people? Because these are not Indians, these are not Bengalis, these are not Chinese, Mongoloids. These are typical Papua New Guinea. I, as a Goilala man from Papua New Guinea Central Province, I have every right to live in Rabiagini.
Rabiagini youth leader Matthew Martin recalls requesting the Moresby South DDA for youth empowerment opportunities in 2019. He believes if his request was granted, they wouldn't have reached this point.
So challenge to me, Minister Governor, if Minister
the displaced families are now sheltered at the Kasman family residence. They have been taking refuge there for over 2 weeks without any formal aid from the district authority and the NCD city authority. Munihogo community is a private property and not a care center as mentioned by Governor Pakop, says Mary Pauline. The tiny space here and inadequate water and toilet facilities is not conducive to cater for the big population.
I want to ask or appeal to them if they can step in quickly and assist these people who are here so that it gives the community here some breathing space. Right now we are so cramped and the environment is not conducive. Our elders, they find it hard to move around. There's not enough toilet facilities to cater for the crowd here.
Hope Ministry has been assisting the displaced families in cash and kind ever since. In light of the deteriorating conditions they are in, Alan Kadea has urged the responsible authorities to take swift measures to address this plight.
Gupla Governor Blomi, Governor Pakop, we like taking you Gupla man. Governor Port Moresby South too, Honorable Minister Justice Chichenko, you too Gupla man. We like taking you to leader blow you me, please. We like if you straight in Siran blow line blow you me. Ino lo koros, people respecting Mipla. With respect, we would like to ask you to please take into consideration how our people are currently living.
The eviction was described as ethnically defamatory by the Governor for Central, Rufina Peter, making reference to a similar dilemma that befell Goilala people at Rabiagini Settlement in the recent past. The Governor questions the motive of the evictions, saying they are deliberately targeting the ethnic group. Amidst the turmoil, the Governor has appealed for calm and peace among the Goilala people, while responsible authorities reach an amicable solution.
Jurisdiction below NCDC, Administrator below me staff, NCD City Manager, you staff, you Central man too. You'd lot talk now. How about you me helping all people blame me inside law NCD? It's a matter of a phone call na sit down and talk good one thing. Suppose administration in a walk, then politicians will move it. And we know that evictions and resettlement is an issue.
The eviction left one dead and several currently nursing injuries.
Coming up, government takes tougher measures on crime-infested areas. Stay tuned. Welcome back to NBC Current Affairs. The recent eviction exercise carried out at the Rabiagini Settlement depicts deeper issues in the nation's capital, with law and order, governance, and land disputes at the heart of it. Tumal's Rabiagini is among other settlements in Port Moresby that has been labelled as breeding grounds for criminals and violence. Statistics from police indicate that lawlessness caused by illegal settlers squatting on state land have drastically increased over the years, prompting the government to take tougher measures to address this critical issue. Whilst heavy-handed evictions are aimed at combating lawlessness, the flip side is its impact on innocent people, especially women, children, and the elderly. Henrietta Yama reports.
Violent crimes such as armed robbery, car theft, rape and murder have been prevalent in the nation's capital for centuries. Many innocent individuals and families have suffered trauma and loss at the hands of cruel criminals. These crimes are particularly concentrated in hotspots like the 2 Mile Hill, Baruni, Morata and Erima, among others. According to data collected from police and other bodies such as the National Research Institute, over 60% of city residents report being victims of crime, with roughly 90% reporting gender-based violence, making Port Moresby as the city with highest crime rate in the region. Figures also specify that most of the criminals dwell illegally on state land. Statistics also reveal that lawlessness is a result of a growing population and less opportunities. So the bigger question is, why has there been an influx into the city over the years? Guelala MP Casimiro Aya believes lack of basic services including healthcare, schools, better roads and infrastructure forces individuals to migrate into cities in search of a better life, however are met with harsh realities.
If there are people that are asking why Olgeta Guelala losing place blown na kam start lo Port Moresby, this is a background of why this may have happened. Maybe this could not be the only reason, but this is one of the reasons why it has happened. We are only 20 minutes flight. To walk to Guelala is only 5 days. But when you think of development aspects, we are million years far out. People realize that there's nothing happening back in the villages or in the districts. They are pushed out. Law and order issue, because there's lack of police presence for those years. People tend to run away to the cities so that they can be better protected. So as we speak in Guelala, there is no correctional service institution, there's no courts, no police.
Most find themselves squatting illegally on state land and fend for themselves through engaging in the informal sector, while few resort to criminal activities for survival. Nevertheless, repeated crime has forced the government to respond with force. By dismantling their breeding spaces, the National Capital District Commission aims to eradicate crime. Instead, it only gets out of hand with every passing year. After several warnings, the government moved in with force and evicted the 2 Mile Hill and Rabiagini settlements on the 25th of January 2026. According to NCD Governor Powes Pakop, enough warnings have already been issued to no avail.
I want to set the record straight. We have given the people of 2 Mile more than enough time, enough warning. We have tolerated the situation at 2 Mile. We have given them the opportunity to change their ways, to renounce violence, to respect each other. But did they respect that? No, God.
The metropolitan capital is home to almost 1 million Papua New Guineans, according to the 2024 national census, making it one of the most populous provinces, experiencing rapid urbanization with a 5.7% annual growth rate and a high population density, coupled with scarce employment opportunities. For too long, certain individuals continue to act disorderly, causing disharmony in the communities. However, the communities tend to accept crime, and that cannot be tolerated anymore, says Pakop.
And this city is our capital city. We can't continue to tolerate this type of nonsense. Very bad habits that threaten the security and welfare of everybody. So what happened in 2 Mile? This is the situation. Police intervene, and because of outbreak of violence.
With under 900 plus police personnel for over 1 million people, force capacity is overwhelmed. Despite public safety initiatives, including increased police visibility as bus stops are being implemented by the NCDC to curb crime, there's been a drastic escalation lately. This eviction serves as a warning to other settlements that are in the pipeline to face a similar dilemma in the near future.
We have eviction orders ready for all the other settlements, ready to move out. We're going to execute the last one at the 4 Mile Works last year, but they took it to court to stop it, and I hope they lose the case. So we'll clear out 4 Mile Works and the Garden Hills. So how with the NCD authority, we'll have to clear every settlement in the city and move them to the fringes of the town, and then let them stay out. but you cannot go into the customary land of the central people. So to the central people, you start preparing and standing up for your land. Don't allow settlers to just go into your area. Report to PPC Central. And customary land, we don't need a court order. If you have a complaint, we go and move them and burn down houses, because this is your private place, land. So all central people listening, look out for you and do not sell your land. You stop people settling on your land, and you're helping us to stop the growth of settlements.
Nonetheless, the question remains, is evictions the real solution to this issue?
Finally tonight, the bigger question that remains hanging is that what is the middle ground to all this chaos? Following the recent evictions at 2 Mile Hill, Rabiagini and 4 Mile work settlements, the national government and the National Capital District Commission have come under public scrutiny on social media. While many applaud the evictions, others remain skeptical, questioning the weaker law enforcement and the government's plans to curb lawlessness in an amicable manner without punishing innocent people. A few have outrightly condemned the evictions, saying it is infringing on human rights. Henrietta Yama reports.
Security response police 2 Mile police fresh attack now.
Escalating crime violence in the nation's capital is signaling a national crisis. The government has taken a tough stance against this ongoing issue, prioritizing the safety and well-being of every citizen. Citizens are fed up of living in fear of being robbed and killed anytime in their own country. Whilst evictions are deemed as a better approach by many, settlements are home to many working-class people who cannot afford to live in proper estate accommodation, and evictions affect all walks of life. The Png Council of Churches have condemned the evictions and called on the government to consider security and safety among other human matters before evicting thousands of people. Chairman of Body of Christ, Reverend Joseph Walters, described the actions of the government towards the eviction exercise as inconsiderate, heavy-handed and without due care for the citizens, which can amount to human rights violation.
We realize that 50 years on now, independence, governments past and present have not seriously and adequately addressed these growing issues of urban drift and settlements. As this will continue to haunt governments, now is the appropriate time to take remedial actions in how we handle these issues, because the fact of the matter is urban drift will continue to be a problem and settlements will continue to be a problem. And so the sooner our people in authority act as remedial actions are taking place, the better it would be for our people.
His deputy, Pastor Michael Wilson, shared similar sentiments.
We believe the government has a right to move the people. We agree with that because we don't hold the title to the land. But however, if you look at the timing of it, it was school time. And the timing of it was, we believe it was unfair to all our people that were moved at that time. And all this kind of thing we ask the leaders to consider before we resettle the people that are coming. But as a church, we now recognize, and we would like to call the leaders, that the drift to urban is the biggest issue in our nation at the moment. I think some permanent solution needs to be found.
Head of Catholic Church, Archbishop Cardinal Sir John Ribat, urged the government to halt the pending evictions in the city without proper relocation plans based on humanitarian grounds. Cardinal Ribat is adamant that the rights of innocent law-abiding citizens to live in the city must be protected. According to him, if the government is serious about addressing law and order in the short, medium and long term, it must invest funding and resources in youth empowerment programs to keep them off the streets. However, the government remains committed to ensuring the safety of citizens. Governor Pakop explained that the eviction at 2 miles Rabiagini Settlement was prompted by ongoing crime and violence.
Capital city that belongs to our Mutuans, Koitabu, and secondly to all of us. Thousands of tribes, 860 languages, and our friends coming in from the international community to help build our nation. We cannot be held to ransom by a few, individuals or groups who think that they can do as they please. Maybe they can do it in their tribal setting. They can do it here in the multi-ethnic, multi-linguistic, multinational, multi-faith, multicultural setting. It will not happen.
According to Pakop, the Commission's long-term goal is not to displace families, but to upgrade informal settlements into formal suburbs, complete with proper infrastructure and services. NCDC is working in partnership with the 3 open members to acquire land for the evicted families and others who may be affected by the settlement to suburb program, and families will have to pay 20,000 kina over time to obtain the land titles.
Most of the settlement in the city will be subject to settlement to suburb upgrading. There's a few settlements in the city that has to be removed. And our team here, we are determined to do that. But we are not going to just randomly or in a head-up way or without plan just go and evict our people. We are not going to do that. It's going to be a proper planned resettlement. Where we move them to, it's not going to be another settlement. Our goal, under my leadership and our 3 open members here, is to end settlement. Settlement must end in Port Moresby and hopefully to the rest of the country.
Restoring safety for business and community confidence is now a top priority for Moresby South MP Justin Tachenko. Rabiagini Settlement has been a concern for many over the years, and its removal is a relief to law-abiding citizens, emphasizing that dismantling the settlement and removing known criminals will significantly reduce long-standing law and order problems.
Now, 2 Mile Hill had to go, with all due respect. It was the hotspot, criminal hotspot for how many years? And with that as well, how many people have been robbed, stabbed, attacked, raped, killed in 2 Mile Hill? Countless. And I think all the citizens of our city have had enough.
Meanwhile, Governor Pakop confirmed that the long-awaited Vagrancy Act for NCD, proposed by him in 2020, is expected to be passed in the upcoming Parliament sitting. Amendments were made to the original bill following objections from members of Parliament, and the act is now set for approval early this year. Pakop clarified that the act is not only aimed at all unemployed residents. Contrary to the 1980s, the new act is aimed at criminals, violent individuals, and those disrupting the peace, rather than just the unemployed, according to proponents.
Vagrancy Act, if it passes, I see some people on social media, TikTok and Facebook, saying that it will be against freedom of movement or against poor people or no. The Vagrancy Act is against people who commit violence and crime. I want to make it very clear. If you are in the settlement or in whatever community in the city or in towns in our country, and if you don't commit crimes or violence, you have nothing to worry about the Vagrancy Act. But once you start committing crime, especially use of violence, you are threatening your own, residency of the city or the town.
In the meantime, NCDC has committed funding in the 2025 and 2026 provincial budgets to support resettlement and basic assistance for displaced families.
And that's how we end the show tonight. I'm Jerry Tava. Have a pleasant evening. Good night.